Okay, well, it's time to build my radio. Okay, when you think of radio, you think of a cathedral style. If you're thinking about a radio that evokes the most memories, it's probably going to be a cathedral style radio. And this radio has to live in a space that's, maybe 10 by 14. Okay, and what I'm doing here is just sort of sketching this out on paper. And then once the paper is, okay, there's 10. Okay. All right, that's once you know how big it has to live inside. Okay. That's a pretty big radio. All right, so let's see. So a cathedral style radio. Oh, it probably has a base that goes about to here. And it's got this sort of, pillory thing here, and you got that there, and you got that there, right? Okay. And you got the base with the pillar on it, and another base there. And then you have like your dials there, and then here, this is the cool part. This is the part that lights up, and you got the little meters around it. That's when you turn it on, that's cool, right? And then it goes, and it's called a cathedral style because it's got that sort of arch piece, right? And, okay. And then once you have that, then we start to, fill in with this sort of cool, right? And then you've seen these, that's where the grid is, right? Well, so this is the radio I'm gonna make. Now, the radio doesn't have to actually work, it just has to look like it works, okay? So let's just get started on this. And the first thing we're gonna do is fold this down the middle. And that'll make it so much easier to, where's my scissors? That'll make it so much easier to cut out, just like cutting out a heart. Where is my scissors? Here it is, right here, all right? And this is, think theater prop. It doesn't have to work. It just has to look like it works. And it should also be cool looking from the audience. So, to make this work, I'm going to have a light in here that actually lights up, and I'm going to have, screening there, and I'm going to paint it so from the audience, from a distance, it'll look good, and I'll probably need to put sides on it. Oh, maybe an inch and a half, so when I show it from the side, people will say, oh, that actually could be a radio. Okay, let's go. All right. If I do this right, this will pop up, these will swing around, and then I'll have a radio. Okay, good morning. So we are continuing the project for this radio. I'm now going to paint it so it looks like it's a piece of furniture, an old-time piece of furniture. And to do that, I'm going to use shellac. Shellac is interesting stuff. This is amber shellac. There's clear shellac and amber shellac. Shellac, fun fact, is made from beetles. I think beetle shells. I don't know where they discovered this or how they decided to dissolve beetle shells into alcohol, but it worked, and it's been a finish ever since. There actually used to be things you'd go to the store and you'd buy 2-pound shellac and 3-pound shellac. Well, the difference was how many pounds of beetle shells they would dissolve in a given amount of alcohol. And yes, alcohol. Fun fact number 2, denatured alcohol is booze. It's alcohol. They just have added a poison to it so you don't drink it and kill yourself. Fun fact number 3, I was told by my brother, who's a physician, that back in the day, in a Prohibition period, people would pour sterno through moldy bread, and that somehow that would make it drinkable. I said, is that true? He said, no, that would kill people. So anyway, don't try this at home because it's deadly. Now, to make this amber shellac different colors, you can actually tint the shellac. So for this particular project, I'm not staining the wood, I'm staining the shellac. And shellac is one of the few finishes that you can do this with. This is a tint. I just add 1 drop at a time to this shellac, and this will give me something that's called a craftsman brown. So if you've been to older houses, like 1910 or so, in that craftsman color, that is what you get here. And because the shellac is tinted, the more coats I put on, the darker the stain appears, okay? Can you see that? I'll paint it up here so you can. Okay. Now, right now, it has kind of a, what would you call that? It has a little bit of a brown, it's brown, of course, and it has a yellowish cast to it. But what's interesting about this is that once I get to about the 3rd coat, it will start to have a reddish cast to it. Well, as you may or may not know, this is going to be on stage, so this is a stage prop. I'm not building, the Sistine Chapel here. My job is to make this look good from a distance. Shellac is an amazing finish because it's super forgiving. In other words, if you don't like it, you just sand it off or use denatured alcohol and it dissolves right away. I also like it that if you were to paint something with shellac and you get a scratch on it, just put a little more shellac on it and it covers up the scratch. So it is not a particularly durable finish. You'd use probably polyurethane or something like that. Polyurethane is like plastic. It's like plastic that you paint on. And that's both good and bad. The good thing about that is it's super durable. The bad thing about it is that once you scratch polyurethane, it's kind of a bugger to fix, and it's really hard to remove because it's like plastic that's melted into the wood. Shellac, you kind of like because it has a natural vibe, and it's super easy to remove, and yeah, okay, that's fun. So now a shellac naturally has a shine to it. Fun fact, is this number 4? Fun fact number 4, shellac is edible. So I'm assuming not with the denatured alcohol in it, but when you buy apples in the store and they're super shiny, they have been shellacked. Yeah, okay. All right, so there that goes. And can you see where maybe from a distance that will look like a radio from stage? Now I'm gonna put some mesh behind this, and this part right here, I'm gonna put a little dial that glows. So when I turn it on, it'll look like the radio turns on, and then I'll use the magic of distraction to have the sound pumped in from another place, playing Christmas music. I hope anyway. Now, this is the end table that the radio will sit on. So this also is going to get a treatment of shellac. That's probably enough damage for now. I will check in with you later.